Hi, good evening, everyone, and happy Monday. Hope everyone's doing well, and thank you all for joining me tonight for another episode of PALAKwento. I'm Inez Achacoso Dizer, and I'll be your host for tonight's episode. So, for those who just joined in today, PALAKwento is really just a casual conversation or kwentuhan to really promote the practice of landscape architecture. It's an avenue to share and collaborate ideas and inspire professionals. So for tonight, it will be really interesting. We'll be talking about landscape architecture in a different light. Actually, it's a marriage between two industries, landscape architecture and agriculture. So, very exciting to know more about how LA plays a role in, providing food security. So, let's welcome our guests for tonight. They're two landscape architects who are also the owners of Farmy PH, a farm to table experience, actually, which delivers fresh organic food. So, they're also married, by the way. So let's welcome landscape architects Ken and Fami Pineda.
Hello.
Hi,
Good
Hi,
good
evening,
Ken. Hi,
guys.
Fami. Good
evening.
evening.
Hello,
How are
hello.
you?
Hi,
We're good.
Ines.
We're good. How are you?
I'm good. So, sige, let's start. So maybe you can tell the viewers or a little about yourselves and your businesses.
Okay, ikaw muna.
Go for it.
so, I'm Ken Pineda, a landscape architect. Uh, Currently doing landscape work, designing, and some build projects. And then we're also doing Farmy, which is an online platform for uh, basically farmers selling their goods to people, and we're just trying to help them reach these said customers.
Yeah, so just to give a limelight on what we do, we still do our own normal landscape
Mhm.
architecture design
Mm-hmm.
practice and
Yeah.
on the side. But for me, is more on like marrying the two, agriculture and landscape at the same time. As Ken said, we do help farmers with their plot lands. So, for example, those things we do in our, let's say, schematic diagram, we help
Wow.
them plan their farms, integrate
Yes.
Hmm.
specific crops or crop rotation, as they say, for a season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because what we have to understand in the Philippines is that farmers, they tend to just plant one kind of produce
Yeah.
rather than
Oh,
rotating their crops, in the sense that,
okay.
let's say my banana already got a lot of the nutrients from this plot soil, then for the next season I should be planting another type of plant. So those kinds of things.
Mm-hmm.
And then we do help them circulate their goods, because most farmers, they have a problem with logistics
Yeah. And marketing.
and marketing. So
That's
that's one
true.
of the things we do help with, to address technical side of landscape architecture, which is
Mm-hmm.
site planning, site development, and the other side is agriculture, in the sense na we help them sell their goods. Yeah.
Galing, ah. These are like like actually they're very like similar in a way because they deal with
Yes.
shaping the land and all that. But what
Mm-mm.
actually got your interest in focusing on agriculture using your skills as landscape architects?
Hmm.
Maybe.
Ako
Yeah.
muna.
Go,
Okay.
go.
Saan nagsimula ang lahat?
Saan nagsimula ang lahat? Saan nga ba?
Sa
Hindi.
pagiging green thumb
Sa
and
inyong dalawa ba
plantito,
or
plantita. Hindi, joke lang.
I think it was a common trait between the two of us.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mhm.
you were more on the he was more on the ornamental side,
Yeah.
but I was more on the crop growing food side. So sabi ko, ano kaya, ipagsama natin, in a sense na, uh, since a lot of us are doing ornamental planting already,
Correct.
Yeah.
designing, why not?
Basically, they're all plants. So,
Mm-mm.
uh,
Yeah.
how do we take care of them? We just water them, we put sunlight.
Mm-mm.
Same, same.
Mhm.
It's just that in agri, the plants provide food.
Yeah.
So
Correct.
if we can do both, so why not just marry the two
Mm-mm.
fields, right?
Yes, and I think me for us personally,
Yeah.
using that specific landscape architecture techniques taught to us by our, let's say, professors, our mentors through the years, and then integrating it into a agricultural plot helps us in kind of addressing that lack of technicality or how farmers can actually maximize
Mm-hmm.
their crop yields in the sense na we 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 give them certain information that they won't really get
Mhm.
based on, let's say, yung tatay ko kasi
Yeah.
nagtatanim from before, so ganito yung ginagawa niya, pero not knowing na these are techniques that are actually um, not helping in tilling of the plots to that sense.
Correct. So actually, landscape architecture in a way parang kind of molded the whole farmy idea of being able to
Yes.
really help the farmers, no? Galing!
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I
yes,
haven't met anyone
yes.
na ganun yung path pa.
Though
So,
there are
yeah.
a lot na
Mm-mm.
agriculturist naman sila, but
Mhm.
uh, but you do have to get licensure for that. But then we thought, why not naman tayo in our own way help these farmers?
With our own set of knowledge,
Yeah.
wisdom. Yeah.
Mm-mm. So yun yung naging parang takbo ng mga utak namin nung
So when you
Mm-hmm.
nagko-conceptualize
started
kami.
farming, may schematic design pa yan, ganyan. Wala naman.
Okay. Actually, it
Yeah,
started
I'm
with
curious lang.
one
I'm
a
curious.
project. Yeah, it
Mm.
started with a project. Na they actually hired us na to design a big resort.
Mm-mm.
Mm.
And then it's leaning towards agri-tourism.
Mm-mm.
So when we had that project, it was about 40 hectares
Mm-mm.
of land. And what
Wow.
what other way to maximize the land than to put like lots of farming related
Mm-mm.
Correct,
layout,
correct.
right?
Yeah.
So from there, I think we had the inspiration na, you know what? This
Pwede.
is really feasible na pwede natin siyang incorporate with the farmers doon sa locality. And
Mm-mm.
then
Uh-huh.
parang we just talk to the farmers, ganyan, ganyan. And then we try to get their perception on how farming should be in a resort like this. Parang
Yes.
ganun.
So
Nice.
it's like promoting agritourism in the sense na we level up agriculture
Mhm.
with landscape architecture. Agriculture kasi there's this stigma na, oh, you're from agri, you're a farmer, you're poor.
Yeah,
Which
yun
is
yun.
which is when you go to,
Yeah.
let's say, Europe, America, these people are one of the richest people. And
Yeah.
I think this is one of the, and in the sense it's not also just about riches It's also
Mm.
about putting a price on
Mhm.
something that is important. You
Yes.
know,
That's true.
like we would buy 10,000 peso worth of what? A pair of Nike shoes.
Yeah.
But we cannot,
Wow. Ikaw lang
di ba?
siguro.
Parang we cannot provide
I
them
mean people,
something.
di
That's
ba?
true. Yeah.
But we cannot, why can't we
Mm.
put a price or why can't we uplift the farmers in that sense na we help them. We help
Mhm.
them,
Yeah.
Reach
yeah,
their dreams,
yes,
parang
reach
ganun.
your dreams.
Yes.
Or,
Oh.
it,
And another sad thing is parang these farmers, when you talk to them, they have a common saying na, alam mo, yung anak ko nasa Manila na ayaw na mag-farming, ayaw na magtanim. Parang
Mm.
everyone's just quitting on agriculture. That it's starting to hurt the whole industry.
That's yeah. But
Yeah.
you know, like especially now in the pandemic, parang a lot of people talaga that's what they turn to naman now, especially with the whole being
Yes.
healthy lifestyle ganyan.
yes,
Trying to afraid to go to the grocery ganyan. 'Di ba parang
yes.
all of a sudden people want to have their own urban farm, like they want to really
Yeah.
go back to the basics ganun. So I'll jump. Yeah, go ahead. Ami.
I think this is one of the good things we see na people are realizing. Kasi, syempre, we're all, the pandemic has been tough on all of us, one way or another. Especially
Yes.
for some landscape architects na nawalan ng project, yung mga ganong bagay
Mhm.
ba. But to see them still advocate these kinds of things, like being a plantita, there are
Mhm.
some companies or like firms that they they're helping out with people propagating information about how important nature is in
Mm-hmm.
our lives. And I think
Yes, that's true.
it's one thing we love about what's
Yeah.
happening with the community na people are being aware of what is really important. Diba?
Mm-hmm.
Yung mga ganun ba?
Yeah.
Everything's just back to essential.
Mm-mm.
Food is essential, but
Exactly.
so let's just do food.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
Yeah, parang back to basics biglaan lahat, no?
Mm.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. And how did that affect um your business in farming? Like with the whole demand for, you know, organic food, healthier lifestyle like that. Would you be able to share?
Yeah. So, yun nga, yung sinasabi ni Fami, no? Ano to, parang, ano ba to? Trying to help sa, uh, yung mga patient, let's say, cancer patients, ganyan.
Mm-mm.
Actually,
Mhm.
nagkaroon kami ng mga customers na naghahanap ng organic food.
Yeah.
Diba?
Kasi in terms of sa farming, kasi we advocate now we don't use
Mm-mm.
pesticides. We let our partner farmers know
Healthy.
na there are people who need this. So like
Yes.
we've had we've had or still have ongoing customers or clients that let's say are immunodeficiency
Compromise. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
compromise or like those with cancer. So they require specific food na walang anything. So it's
Yeah.
organically grown in that sense. So yeah, that's how we address it in the sense na people are given the choice na ah, meron palang ganitong option eh.
Mm-hmm.
We,
Correct.
it's not more on like income in the sense na oh, kailangan mag-produce ng maraming ganitong crops kasi ganito yung
Yeah.
yield na
A
dapat
lot are
magkaroon.
ganun na now. I mean, before at least, no?
Yeah, at
Mm-hmm.
The
least. So,
more they produce, yeah,
yeah.
the better.
So this one is, yun nga, like I said, putting quality or food with better options for people na they have food insecurity in that sense. So addressing food security would be also helping with the locality, 'di ba? Na
Yeah.
yun, nandun tayo sa age na we need to understand na though there are people who are having a hard time or like you are having a hard time in that sense, then we can help out pa rin kahit kahit from our own municipality
Mm-hmm.
lang in let's say Tagaytay, Alfonso, Nasugbo, yun.
Yeah. So the sorry, this is in the province, no? In Tagaytay, you
Mm-mm.
said.
Yes.
So this
Yes,
is
yes.
sort of also helping out the economy in Tagaytay, not just for Metro Manila.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Galing.
oo, kasi actually, Tagaytay has been suffering since the Taal
Yeah.
eruption
Eruption.
from last year. So that was also one of the eureka moments we had
Yeah.
prior to the
Mm-hmm.
pandemic. Or rather, after the eruption of Taal. Kasi also, nawala ng tourism, di ba? Because
Yes.
tourism is
Yeah.
one of the biggest sources ng income ng
Income.
Tagaytay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yun. So, yun yung nangyari. Kaya, yun, we had our brainchild
Mm-mm.
farm with the help of
So that
also my brother. Oo.
nice naman. So just curious, no? Maybe you can share like what are the different highs and lows that you experience, like operating an agri-business. Like, of course, as landscape architects, you've mentioned that there are highs and lows then of the whole landscape. But let's see lang how in the other field naman, how similar is it with agriculture?
Mm.
Highs. I think the highs in the industry is yung you get to know the farmer's point of view and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Kasi, okay, tayo kasi mga middle class tayo eh. So, we have the privilege to live a better lifestyle. Ganyan, parang walls, ganyan, tapos may aircon. Sa kanila, wala lahat yun eh. Uh, it's not that they're poor, it's just that they live in a more simpler lifestyle.
Mm-mm.
Parang
Fresh
ganun. And
air.
then,
Fresh air na
yeah,
someone.
exactly. And they prefer that more than living in the city.
Yeah. You and also there are certain like technicalities na
Mm.
let's say as a landscape architect, I did not know na from the start plants they grow naturally.
Mm.
So I mean, okay, we know they grow naturally, but there are like certain things na as a landscape architect, like details. Let's say that this specific crop, isaksak mo lang siya. Let's say sa water, it will grow at this certain age or at this certain
Wait.
length. Those things na you don't normally encounter if you're a contractor or or you're just doing design.
Mhm.
They like have techniques. Let's say for avocado, uh, did you know that you can actually use yung pinanghugas
Hugas
mo
ng
ng
fish.
fish,
Yes.
you can use that
As fertilizer.
as fertilizer for the avocado tree, and it tends to be sweeter and less let's say ano tawag yan, roots, yung may mga parang roots sa
Yeah,
loob
okay.
ng
Yeah.
fruit. So those kinds of things are like, let's say, did you know that a pineapple,
Wow.
if you store it, it should be inverted.
Yeah.
So the head
Huh?
shouldn't
Wait lang.
be,
With
di
the
ba
with
ito yung
Iba yung
the with the
crown.
pineapple?
plant? Sorry.
Yeah, di
Yeah.
ba ito yung
Ay, shit.
crown?
Yeah, exactly. Crown.
When you take out the pineapple from its
Yung plant
from
itself.
its plant itself, you have to
Yeah.
turn it upside down so that the spread of the sweetness of the
Is even.
pineapple is even. Diba?
What?
So, yun yung
Wait lang.
mga, yeah, diba? Yung mga ganon,
Galing.
we've
Mm-mm.
learned that from them.
Yeah.
Encountering them every, like, oh, ate, ganito, kwento lang siya. So, tapos ma-realize mo, oh, the next time you taste a pineapple, it's different.
Yeah.
Really? I
Revelation.
should try that.
Yes.
So kahit the
Yes.
ones that I buy in the supermarket, babalik tarin ko lang. I
Yeah.
Turn it
wonder why
around.
they sell it the other way. I mean, the normal way.
Well, I guess
Would you
because
know?
Yeah,
It
that's how
doesn't
you
look
see
nice,
it.
eh,
in
no?
in logic
Yeah.
kasi parang
Mm.
the leaf should be
Yeah.
pero upside down pala dapat siya when you store it. Oh, those kinds of things. Yung let's say for a lettuce plant, did you know na it only grows like 25 to 30 days? So,
Mhm.
parang those kinds of things na you don't
Yeah,
really encounter if you're doing the city designing. And
exactly.
respect to these people, they've been doing this for all their lives, which is a good thing.
Yeah. Kaya it's good to hear them uh,
Mm-mm.
tell you stories about farming in general. Or kahit nga
Mhm.
minsan, chismis na lang eh.
Oo, chismis.
Madami
Maraming
tayo
farmers na
niyan.
chismoso.
Pero
Ay,
nakakatawa. It's a community in itself.
Yeah.
nice. I'm just curious, no? Like, since you're also the owners of Landscape, which is your private practice of landscape architecture, did you ever like apply, let's say, in planting plants, ganyan, like, or at least push to have, let's say, instead of ground cover, let's make it lettuce lang, or
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
or
we
We
the
did.
did.
trees na
We
you
did.
specify, let's put avocado tree dito, ganyan.
Oh, yeah, we did.
We did.
Ito
Yeah.
pa. Yung planting plan,
Mhm.
when we design it or when we draft it, there's always this table down dun sa
At the
bottom ng
bottom.
page where you
Mhm.
can see the crop rotation schedule.
Yeah.
Like everything in detail. So
So, yeah.
the customers tend to enjoy uh
Mhm.
parang the fruits of whatever it is na dun sa design.
So,
I should.
I remember this client, so we gave na the crop rotation table. Tapos sabi niya,
Yeah.
pwede pala yun. Like, nagulat siya na after you plant lettuce, you can plant tomatoes, and then you can plant eggplant, and then it
Yeah.
completes the whole cycle already of
for the whole 12 months
Yeah.
in a year.
So,
Galing.
yung mga ganun ba na
Yeah.
bagay,
Mm-mm.
which
So
is
you
not,
guys give parang
it's,
a manual
yeah, but
afterwards.
like
Like,
in our
Mm-mm.
maintenance plans, we place how to take care of, let's say, cucumber, how to take care of
cute.
um, potatoes.
Even the formation of yung mga stands nila,
Mm-mm.
yung mga balag nila, ganyan.
Balag
Yeah.
is,
Ay,
you have to
Yung
divide
parang,
balag.
sorry, yung balag kasi, it's a term sa farming na where you place parang stakes,
Mm-mm.
yeah.
raised stakes, tapos may parang, what do you call them? Alambre.
Alambre.
Doon
Parang
na nakatali.
makeshift trellis.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
Pero it spreads. And then you can actually plant below it also.
Mm-hmm.
Like mga root crops, let's say potato, kamote, those
Yes.
kinds of stuff. And then above them, you plant, let's say, squash
Mm-hmm.
or eggplant, the vines that crawl.
Do you have
Yes.
detailed plans yan?
Yeah.
Meron?
But, meron. Pero,
Meron.
syempre,
Ay.
with research and then from the technical side,
Mm-mm.
learn. Yun nga,
Yeah.
I can, like I told you, if we marry those two things, we're gonna be
Mhm.
helping a lot of farmers and we're gonna up their game.
Sobrang efficient, no?
Yes. Well,
Exactly.
we will help them up their game. And we encourage, lalo na since tayong mga landscape, um, landscape architects, we do have the capacity to help these people.
Yes.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Kahit na yung
And
mga
in a way,
photo work ng mga ano lang, yung simple lang, like a planting plan, using their crops as the material. Or yung paano mo i-rotate, ganyan, or paano mo i-irrigate, yan. Lahat yan, if we just help them enough,
mhm.
mas efficient yung magiging produce nila.
Mm-mm.
And mas makakatulong sa kanila in terms of the economy.
Mm-mm.
And I'm sure in a way you guys also learned a lot from these farmers. No, some like things that you didn't know as landscape architects before. Someone saying good evening, Rochelle Zamora.
Hello. Good
Hello. Good
evening
evening
po.
po.
Good evening. Thanks for tuning in, po. Yeah. So, okay.
Hi, Sir
I'm
Vic.
curious lang. Hi, Sir Vic.
Cute ng DP.
Nabutan ko pa si Sir Vic. Yeah, I'm curious lang. How did icebreaker ko na to? How did you
Ano?
guys Boom, joke. Hindi. No, I was gonna ask lang. Tatanungin ko sana controversial. Wag na lang.
Oh,
See,
Oh, may ganun.
memorable experiences in like as a married couple, you guys for sure at home you're together, in the firm you're together, in farming you're together. Like baka you can share like experiences you had as like partners in practically everything.
Di
Sa'yo
mo lang
ba?
alam, nagbubugbugan na kami. Kidding aside, actually, there's a delineation of work.
yes.
Lalo na pag projects, ganyan.
Oo.
Kasi, okay, I'm more of yung technical side of things. Dun sa, let's say it's drafting, kailangan ganito yung mga technicalities. Hindi pwedeng lumayo dito kasi it would be different as to what is intended to design. Tapos si Fami naman, since she's more trained than me when it comes to yung mga mga papers and documents,
Documentation. Yeah.
quotations, proposals, mga ganyan. She takes care of those things.
So, from the very onset, we delineated, ikaw ang dito, ako dito.
Yes.
Dahil mas magaling ka dito, ikaw ang mag-handle nito. So, those kinds of stuff. And then,
Teamwork.
but there are specific, but may specific roles kami. But I'm more on the farmy head. He's more on the landscape head. And then, As a couple, we have alone time then. Like, separate.
Kailangan
Para
yan.
hirap-hirap kasi rin na if you're
Hindi pwede. At
always...
the end of the day, you don't talk about anything kasi tapos na.
Kasi you've been with the person all day. But then, yun, we make it a point na if there's something uh, going on in terms of a project, after namin discuss, tapos na.
Mm-mm.
We don't let it creep into our personal life, ganyan. Those are, and I'm sure there are a lot of landscape architects, couples who are like that, their dynamic is like that, or like the landscape architect sila parehas or architect sila parehas. Um, ano lang, compartmentalizing lang din naman.
But you know, at the end of the day, you guys know each other. I
Yeah.
mean,
Mm-mm.
like really well. So I'm sure
Yes.
may boundaries and parang ano lang kayo, one more chance.
Oh,
Diba? Ganun po. Wow!
parang hindi. Anyway, balik tayo
Anyway,
dun sa...
Off topic na tayo. Teka.
no, may question usually what we like asking. If you were a plant. Yeah, if you were a plant, what would you be? Can it be it can be ornamental or
Or
gulay
crop.
or gulay
Okay.
or a crop.
Ikaw muna ako.
Sige ako muna.
Sige.
I think kung ako, I'm a plant, I would go for a pine tree.
Bakit?
Oh wow.
Cold ka.
High altitude.
Hindi. I just prefer being nasa heights, gano'n. Tapos, yung malamig na weather, ganyan. I enjoy it. Kasi, since here, kasi sa Manila, you would feel yung radiation ng heat more often than not. Kasi dahil nga, meron ka pang yung urban heat effect, ganyan. So parang, alam mo yun, pawis ka na, tapos kailangan pa magtrabaho. Nakakapagod eh. So, syempre, kung gusto mo na mag-high altitude, enjoy the weather sa taas.
You, Fami.
Ikaw ba?
Ang dami palang explanation. May pinaghuhugutan.
Ganun talaga yun.
Ako gusto ko maging coconut tree.
Tangkad din.
Kasi una di ako masangkad.
May mga dwarf coconut trees na, diba? Joke.
Oo, along the seaside, no? Dahil dwarf effect ba? Bakit? Kasi technically ba siyang tree of life? Gusto ko rin maging jack of all trades in the sense na feeling ko kaya rin kami nag-venture towards agriculture kasi nga gusto rin namin ma-experience nung farmers natin yung same natin
Lifestyle.
hindi lifestyle eh, more on how they can see a better area. Wait lang, hindi na pala connected sa coconut tree.
Galing. Coconut tree eh.
Hindi, coconut tree more kasi
Lumipad na, ibon pala.
holistic approach. So, parang, gusto ko kasi mag-practice ng agriculture, landscape architecture. So, intended to give back in specific parts of my brain. Oh, parts of the tree, di ba? Yung coconut, it gives nagagamit mo yung leaf, nagagamit mo yung everything. So, gusto ko rin maging holistic in that sense. Sorry na guys, pero yun talaga.
Gets nyo naman.
Pero kasi coconut tree, diba, like, they call it the tree of life. So your family of life.
Oh, no. I'm far from that. Ikaw ba, Inez? Okay na yung host.
Ikaw ni host.
If you were a tree, what would you be? Or if you were a plant, what would you be?
Sabihin ko sana coconut tree rin eh. Pero,
A fear.
no, kasi I love coconuts talaga. Like, both lotion, both the drink, yogurt, lahat. Yes. Wait lang.
Big
Off
passion.
topic na tayo. Landscape architecture and agriculture. Anyway, sige. No, pero it's still connected because parang in a way, parang we want, like, I also want to get to know as fellow landscape architects and as can we say agriculturists or at least business owners of farming, parang it's nice to know that and to see like your side of like um your experiences and all that. And the way you explained what kind of plant you'll be, parang you can tell parang kay Ken, he wants to be a pine tree, yung pala may explanation siya na kasi,
Mm-mm.
the weather and all that, and family, very holistic. And it shows what kind of people you are. And and the ventures that you take into. Anyway, anyway, sige, let's talk about your vision, parang kasi parang a lot of people who, especially like for me, like when I look at Instagram ganyan, I see okay, I want to order, let's say, vegetables from farming ganyan, but there really is like a deeper explanation why you guys
Yes.
wanted to get into this. And parang I saw in one of your social medias, parang he said na we aspire to answer the question, how can we make life a little better?
Yeah.
I saw that. And and that's also one
Nakakahiya.
question.
Oo.
That's one question then we ask as landscape architects. Na parang
Yes.
designing the outdoor experiences to make life better then. Yun lang.
Yeah.
Parang it's interesting to see.
Um, well, the vision, kasi this started, there was medyo cheesy siya. If, kasi galing from from an experience na corporate kind of drained us both. So there was this longing na we need something meaningful. I
Yeah.
mean, what we were doing before was meaningful already, but this is something now on our own na what can we do? So, syempre, existential crisis.
Philosophical na
Hindi,
tayo.
philosophical. De joke lang, hindi existential. More on, ano nga ba ang pwede natin gawin? So, bago nag-start yung pandemic, we were already conceptualizing this. And
Mhm.
then, we saw the need going around kasi, let's say, Tagaytay, Alfonso, municipality of Batangas, mga municipalities ng Batangas, especially those at the far end of the area. Hirap sila in terms of logistics. And so, kung we have all these technical, not just logistics more on paano i-address ang patubig, paano
Mm-mm.
i-address ang um, uh, peste. Paano natin, I mean, peste in the sense na yung nagsisira ng crops nila and all. How can we help? How can we impart our knowledge in no joke, our maintenance classes from college really helped
Mm-hmm.
like there were times we would browse to our notes. Ano nga
Uh-huh.
ba yung sabi ni sir ganito or ma'am ganito na they've been planting all these years but they don't really know this kind of knowledge. So that's one, helping impart knowledge to these people. Number two, um being able to give back to the community because as UP students, we've been taught to sila nagpaaral sa atin technically di
Yeah.
ba? Bilang mga
Right, yeah.
scholar ng bayan.
Scholar ng
So,
bayan.
so naisip na namin, ano pwede pa natin gawin?
Mm-mm.
Kasi parang feeling ko kulang. Ayun, so yun yung naisip namin. And then another is, and the last thing is, there are people, these are kind souls na can actually produce food for us, but we just need to link them to the right people. So these are the people we know from Metro Manila. So it's like bridging the gap
Mm-hmm.
between two communities na, oh, we have access to this, why not give it to them? Parang ganon. So we're helping the farmers, we're helping our clients, and we're
Yeah.
giving reasonable prices for them. In fresh pa yung binibigay mong produce to them. Yun. Ang dami ko na sinabi.
Yun.
Ikaw
Tama.
naman. Sorry. Ayun. I think yun yung one of the things why we made it. Why we addressed it.
Mm-mm.
Yun.
Yun talaga eh.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tsaka yung,
Super
yung ngiti
nice.
sa farmers, parang kahit na chill kayo, tambay, tapos kwentuhan lang kayo, parang ganito.
Mm-mm.
You get to know them more on a personal level. And
Mm-mm.
I think that's uh, also important kasi
Mhm.
nawawala kasi minsan yung link between the middle class to the lower class, ganyan. Kasi nga, middle class, when you say middle class, may trabaho yan, may corporate job yan, may pera yan, ganyan. Pero on lower class, pag sinabi mo sa middle class, sabihin ng middle class, ay hindi, mahirap sila, ganyan. Yun kasi talagang stigma. So nawawala yung link between, I mean, tao pa rin naman yan. Di ba? Tao ka, it's from a middle class nga lang. Pero
Yeah.
talk to them, parang gano'n. Nawawala yung connection on a personal level. So, pagka nakakwentuhan namin sila, and yung mga smiles sa faces nila, tapos nakikita mo kasi talaga na yung pagod nawawala.
Mhm.
Okay na kami dun eh. It's one of our vision eh. To see them like that.
Also, yung kasi at least you can tell your clients from the other end naman na
Mm-mm.
sometimes we'd send pictures from the farmer na ito po yung hinarvest nilang carrots para sa inyo, ito po yung hinarvest nilang
Mm.
cucumber para sa inyo. And matutuwa sila na, oh, okay. And ito ang maganda kasi dyan, yung older generation, natatap din natin. Nagiging source siya of kwentuhan din
Yes.
actually. Like if you would look at our DMs, direct messages sa
Yeah.
Farmy page, there are people talaga na makikipagkwentuhan. Oh, so paano yung ganito? How can, in a way, it's also imparting knowledge naman on the other end of the
Yes.
spectrum
Correct. Yeah.
from the user.
It's a full
Na,
circle, eh, no?
it's a full circle in that sense. Pero syempre, there are bad things din that happen.
Mm-mm.
It's not all positive in that sense. Pero alam mo yung nakakagaan namang ng loob na you're able to impart both knowledge both ways. Parang ganun.
Exactly. Exchange lang siya of knowledge. And actually, it's also parang in a way, learning from them at the same time they're learning from you. And parang I realized then they don't, at least a lot of farmers then that I've also experienced don't know that they have so much and they're so rich in a lot of things na
Yeah.
they don't realize that. And in a way, parang it gives light to them at the same time. Baliktad naman, it also gives light to you guys in a way na you see other you experience a lot of different things that you wouldn't if you don't talk to them, ganyan. So,
That's true.
galing.
Tapos also one thing we'd like to point out then is
Yeah.
there are kasi in the municipality of Alfonso, there are also mga farm-owned, mga kumpul-kumpul kami dyan na magkakatabi
Mhm.
na they're also doing the same. So, let's say, to name a few, we have Mayani, we have the one of Senator Kiko Soto,
Pangilinan, yes.
Kiko Pangilinan, Spring Farm,
Sweet Spring.
Yeah.
Sweet Spring, sorry. These are people who are doing the same thing. So, addressing food security in the sense na you start with your own municipality and then help out other people eh. So, para
Correct.
siyang tulong-tulong lang ba, lalo na during this pandemic time na it's hard for people to go out to buy food. At the same time, it's hard for these farmers to
Sell their products.
sell their products. Lalo na during the lockdown, there are some na talagang zero income. So,
Yeah.
yun.
Yeah. I'm just curious lang, as landscape architects then, you're also able to, in a way, help the neighboring communities to parang also show a different side of how they can improve. Kasi you mentioned nga na parang it's really improving one community at a time. And I think parang we all learn from each other. We
Yes.
all you know, exactly. Galing.
Um,
So yeah, go ahead.
oh, so sorry, just to add, may naisip lang ako bigla
Right.
Yeah,
eh.
go
Kasi,
ahead.
uh, like, kasi in the Philippines, we're not mechanized yet in terms of agriculture,
Mhm.
in agriculture sense. So, ang nangyayari, like, we help them, let's say, di ba, yung irrigation system, drip irrigation
Mm-mm.
system, we introduce them a cheaper way on how to do it. So, we, instead of doing those irrigation na they do along the parang swale nila,
Mm-mm.
so that's manual labor all the way. If the water doesn't
Mhm.
really go through the whole canal, they
Mm-mm.
have to sweep
Yeah.
it, diba? So, yun. Introducing landscape principle, which is drip irrigation system, or bubutasan mo lang yung perforated pipe mo, and then high pressure water, and the all the way,
Mm-mm.
the whole
Galing.
canal has already water, diba? So, those
Yeah.
kinds of things,
Actually,
diba?
Mm-mm.
actually nasa head ko is ano eh, yung history of LA, yung Nile River pa on. Yeah, and then
Yes.
Yes.
when you were explaining it, yung nasa head, it's like, oh my gosh, flashback. So,
Mm-mm.
pero
Oo.
that's true. Like, we use it in our profession, mga drip irrigation, and oh nga, it can be applied. What are like similar, siguro, if I may ask, like similar techniques um that are seen in agriculture na we have in landscape,
Mm.
Mm.
other than
Ah.
irrigation? Parang,
Okay.
yeah,
So, for us, kasi diba, when we do site development plan, we do site analysis,
Mm-mm.
diba? So, like,
correct, correct.
si Ken yung lead ng project na to. We placed part of the greenhouses tilting towards the, yeah, yung mga, tilting towards the east sun. Cause the east sun
Mm.
is the healthiest, ay, sorry,
Mm-mm.
east, ay, wait, baliktad.
Rice,
Hindi,
diba?
baliktad yung
Tama ba?
screen eh.
Rice in the east?
Yes, yes, yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay,
Tama,
okay.
tama. Rice and beans. Kasi it's the most
Mm-mm.
viable sunlight time
For
Mm-hmm.
for
crops.
crop.
Yeah.
So, yun. Site analysis,
Mm-mm.
like for slope analysis then, which crops are better to be planted along this
Mm-mm.
kind of slope. Uh,
Those that need more water runoff para hindi nabubulok yung roots, ganyan.
yes. So,
Galing.
mga ganon.
Mm-mm.
So, like, root crops tend to be placed at the slope area kasi they are able to hold more water dahil root nga sila, they have a lot of ano. And then, like, embankment of leafy vegetables, like a type of uh, rice terraces type, pero
Mm-mm.
small plot lang. So,
Mm-hmm.
yun, we help them plant their plots. And then, like what Ken said, crop rotation, then we do scheduling for them. Compute for them their yield. Because apparently, a lot of farmers,
Mm-mm.
they do not know how to compute their yield. So that's
That's
one thing
something
we
that you
do.
can anticipate, no?
Yes,
Mm-mm.
Parang
yes, yes.
galing.
So kasi
Yeah.
it's just like doing planting plan eh, the computation of the yield. Oo.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there's a minimum, yeah,
Formula.
parang minimum distance with
Mm-mm.
the formula,
Mm-hmm.
how much will be.
In a square meter, ilan yung mapaproduce. Yan.
Mm.
We compute for
Correct.
those.
Yeah.
So in a way, at the end of the month or at the end of the at the end of the crop uh, season,
Mm-hmm.
they'll be able to anticipate how much they will own. They
Yeah.
will own, how much they will
They'll
earn,
have, yeah.
how
Earn,
much they
yeah.
will earn for that season. So, yun. So, they can anticipate if they will be able to papintura ng bahay nila or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
So, yun, ganun ba?
Galing kasi like I'm looking at it as LA graduates and then venturing into agriculture at the same time natatackle mo yung financial, even well-being, and parang it it webs out to so much
Mm-mm.
different industries then that just with that, no, with your
Mm-hmm.
knowledge of
Ah,
LA, tas galing.
parang gumawa ng cost estimate for them
Yes.
or gumawa ka
Good.
ng
Yun
site
yun. Yun yung
development.
principle nun.
Parang yun yung principle na ina-apply. And actually encourage LAs, especially those practicing sa province.
Mm-mm.
Mhm.
I think we should help them achieve this yun ba yung ganong setup. Yun.
So, they'll contact you na lang. Dapat pala, you'll leave
Ah,
your number down below. For consultation, please
this is a raw
contact Ken and
vlog.
Fanny.
Naging
Ang
vlog
galing,
pala.
yeah.
Uh-uh.
Do you have a vlog? Or to share
No,
your
no, we
knowledge?
don't, we
And...
don't, we don't.
No, you guys should
Pero
start.
people can ask, mahilig naman mapagkwentuhan sa mga, sa mga tao about it.
Ken and Fanny, may question.
Mm.
Do you have like a most embarrassing moment?
Oh, in terms of
Embarrassing.
farming or in terms of agriculture,
So yeah,
Actually,
one by one
a little bit
natin,
of
Farmy
both.
and a landscape.
being an
No,
LA.
Being an
being an
LA.
LA.
Okay, hindi. Being an LA, alam mo yung sa start na when we created Farmy, parang interviewing yung mga farmers.
Mhm.
May time kasi na parang, siguro dahil in theory, I know this as an LA, tapos nung shinare ko sa kanila, mali pala. Tapos puro farmers woman din yung kasama ko. So parang, sorry,
It's
mali po pala
details.
talaga ako.
Ano yung mali mo?
Nakalimutan ko na kung ano. Nakalimutan ko na kung ano sinabi ko
Defense
eh.
mechanism na yung brain
Oo,
mo.
nakalimutan ko na siya. Pero ganun yung setting. Nasa Kubo kasi kami. Tapos, siguro mga 5 sila.
Oo.
Tapos may nabanggit ako, mali. Nakakaya yun.
Oo, embarrassing
Kasi
moment.
community nila, tapos binibigyan mo ng knowledge mo na
Yeah.
tingin mo tama. Tapos mali pala. Nakakahiya yun. Nakakahiya yun.
Hindi, dapat with confidence na lang. Na-notice
Hindi
ba?
eh. Hindi, 5 sila eh. Anong gagawin ko?
Paano
5 versus
embarrassing
1.
moment? Nung una, hindi ko alam ang difference ng talong, ng halamang talong at halamang ampalaya. Pag wala sila kasing fruit bears
yun.
pa,
Fruit, yeah.
Vegetable mismo.
di pa sila vegetable. So, sabi ko, lakad ako, ganda naman ng talong nyo. Tapos, they're both vine,
Yeah.
or creepers. Ang ganda naman ng talong nyo, gito yan. Tapos sabi ni ate, di po ampalaya po yan. Tapos ako, nakakahiya.
Oh my God, creeper ba ang talong?
Creeper ang talong. Miraculous
Or
yan.
hindi lang tumutubo yung talong dito.
Meron.
Meron.
Maraming talong dito. Marami pang variety eh.
Oo.
We all know the purple one. Pero do you know
Yeah,
that there's a
exactly.
white bulb?
There's also a green bulb and a yellow bulb.
Hindi ba
Yeah.
green when it's not yet ripe?
No.
What?
That's
It's a
also-
variety.
It's also a
Yeah.
misconception. I remember there was one time one farmer, she actually, I think this was Ate Myra, no? She planted eggplant. Tapos sabi niya, baka gusto niyo po ibenta na rin yung puting talong. So, and then one customer was saying, kailan po may hinog tong talong? So, I texted Ate Myra. Tapos sabi ko, ate, kailan daw? Embarrassing moment din pa pala.
Yeah.
Ate, kailan po mahihinog yung talong? Sabi niya, hindi na po yan magpa-purple kasi puti po talaga yan. Tapos turns out, oo nga naman. So, those kinds of things, you learn along the way then. Kasi what we know from the supermarket, it's not always the same from what we see from the local municipalities.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But in kindergarten, pag may coloring book, tas may talong, di ba, automatic you color it
Yeah,
purple.
purple. Exactly.
Yes. But
Di ba? Mali ka if white yung color mo.
yeah, so miraculously, there's yellow, there's white, there's green. Yan. Ayun. Tapos like, there are stories then na uh, oh, can I remember this is a mom of an Archie grad. So one of the lower batches. She's also a
Mhm.
regular. She texted me na, ano kaya, gawa kaya ako ng dragon fruit bread. Kasi it's normally banana bread, di ba?
Yeah.
Oo. Tapos she tried dragon fruit bread. And apparently, masarap. So
Mm-hmm.
she
Wait,
let us try it.
Dragon fruit.
so
So
is
instead
it
of
the purple
using
one, di ba?
Yeah, the purple one.
the purple one,
So
dragon fruit.
purple yung bread.
Ay,
Yeah, it
yes,
is.
it
It
is. It is
is.
purple
It
yung
is?
bread.
Sabi na
Yeah.
Tapos
eh.
there's konting pink swirl. Then,
Mm.
depende. Kasi,
Cute!
yun. So, there's also like an exchange of or recipes from some moms
Mm-mm.
na,
Mhm.
trinay ko yung ganito. Tapos, ikukwento namin kay kuya or kay ate
Yeah.
the next
Yeah.
week na, ito yung ginawa ni ganito. Tuwa sila.
Meron pa nga.
Galing.
Yung ano, may local variety pa kami ng banana sa Alfonso.
Yes.
We call it arnibal.
Yes, banana
Uh,
arnibal.
it's like a
Carnival.
hybrid. It's like a hybrid of saba and
Lakatan.
latundan.
Ay,
Latundan.
latundan,
Yeah.
sorry.
Oh my gosh.
So
Embarrassing.
it's
May,
really sweet.
Mm-mm.
It's really
yeah.
sweet. And we came up with a recipe on how to make it, on how to turn it into ice cream.
Oh, actually,
Oh,
mom ko yung nag-invent
Yes.
share.
ng ice cream na yun. So,
Wow,
yun.
share your
Ayun.
recipes.
So, these are some of the things na we experience.
Mm-mm.
It's not just about, earning eh. It's also about the community itself that you actually are building eh.
Mm-mm.
Tapos, and also, sorry, trivia dun sa banana arnibal. It's also known as banana vulcan. So, it actually emerges in areas na, yun, technical side, it
Vulcan.
actually emerges, it emerges in areas near the volcano because of the rich
Galing.
soil content
Mm-hmm.
that it
Yeah.
has. So, those kinds of things na, pagka pinagsama mo, ay, oo nga no, LE concept to pero agricultural side pala siya. Yeah, ganun
Mm-mm.
ba?
Yeah. So, saan
Mm-mm.
galing ang banana na lakatan?
Lakatan, there are varieties na sa
Hindi.
lak
Tinanong ko lang.
Yeah.
Sa lakatan.
ayun.
Cavendish?
Common lang talaga siya. Yeah, common lang siya talagang nasa industry.
Sa
Kaya nga,
tropical.
we don't know these local varieties anymore.
Mm-mm.
Exactly, yeah. But galing din the experience na you see so much varieties that you don't see in supermarket. Like at least me, I didn't know na
Exactly.
may white egg. But would you know why they don't sell it? Or because no one will buy it?
Um,
Ganun ba?
no, because this is the hard part about agriculture.
Mm-mm.
Sa
Mhm.
not manufacturers, certain groups, they single out a specific type. So, parang ika nga sa Star Wars, nag-clone type lang sila.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yung,
Yun na lang yung pinarami
yun na
talaga
lang yung
nila.
pinarami
Because
kasi.
it's the most common, parang it gives the most
Yield.
yield. Parang
Oo.
ganun.
So, it's more on the economic side again. So,
Okay.
with this, kasi, what we have to also understand, and as landscape architects, the agriculture sector, they they dictate kasi what type of varieties they would be imparting sa mga supermarket, sa mga
Mhm.
grocery, ganyan.
Uh-huh.
Kasi
Yeah.
these are the ones na hindi mabilis mabulok, hindi mabilis
Mm.
parang
Peste. Ganun.
superior gene
Yeah.
yung
Yeah.
nangyayari. When in fact, I know there are a lot of varieties that are lost na. Like, kasi we don't cultivate them anymore. So, it's one thing din na in the community, we would like to help out din sa, yung ganun.
Yeah,
Parang
but
be proud
also
of your own crops. Parang
right.
ganun.
Yeah, I was thinking lang, you guys sell the or more of like organic, natural na produce. Parang if do like the ones in the supermarket, would you know if I'm curious lang kasi syempre I'm the consumer. would you know how much, like, if they use a lot of pesticides, mga ganyan?
It,
Most of them, yes,
mm,
actually.
mm. But there are some there are some suppliers they are trying to ay ika nga parang sa green energy tapos na tayo sa ah ano tawag tapos na tayo sa concrete lang na era parang ganon.
Mhm.
So there are a lot na trying to be conscious already with what they're planting. So there are these other similar initiatives, like let's say gising-gising,
Yeah.
good food community. These are people who are trying to change the scene then, and or yeah, to help out in imparting this knowledge to consumers, not only for
Nice.
farmers but also for consumers. Mm-mm.
Yeah. I, would you have like mga advice or tips for, let's say, landscape architects who also wanna, or like have the interest to, venture out into addressing like the food security, ganyan, or agriculture? Baka you
Mm-mm.
can give advice to them. I know a lot of you who wanna kind of get into that, pero natatakot kasi, agriculture, sometimes you're talking about food waste, or like minsan you put in you invest in it, tapos parang landscape architecture din, like weather dependent siya eh. So
Yes, weather
Mm-mm.
maybe you
dependent.
can give advice to
Mm-mm.
our fellow men.
Uh, Advice? Ganun na ba tayo katanda?
I'm
Hello.
not saying
Hindi
advice
naman.
to the young ones, even
Okay,
I know,
okay.
Oo.
even a lot of like older than us would
Mm-mm.
wanna, especially ngayon na pandemic, would wanna really get into producing their own food even at home.
Actually, it starts out with trying to plant your own uh, plant eh.
Mm-mm.
Kasi if you experience it, like from the seed, ganyan, how to take care of
Yeah.
it, etc., germination, and then transferring to a new plot. Uh, if you do this all the time or slowly, but surely, eventually you'll have yung feeling na wow, madali lang pala
Mm-mm.
and
Mm-hmm.
kaya ko pala siyang gawin.
Mm-mm.
When you venture into that, eventually pwede ka na mag-start na, let's say, go to parang learn more in terms of how to plant other crops, ganyan. So you go to farmers ngayon, tapos you ask them or you interview them, ganyan, tapos hanggang sa your knowledge becomes what bigger, ganyan.
Uh-uh.
Tapos yun, mas parang mapupunta ka na dun sa food security issue kasi medyo inevitable siya lalo na in the Philippines. We're more of the poor country eh. Ang food security talaga is a big issue. So, pagka naisip mo na, yung tinanim ko, magpapakain ng tao, ang gandang idea nun.
That's for me the first step.
Yes.
Second step is, as a landscape architect, why not apply yung principles we know in terms of
Mhm.
irrigation, drainage, construction materials. Let's say, if we are weather dependent in the sense na alam mong masisira yung crop mo pagka may bagyo, why not make a greenhouse design that's sturdy enough to withstand the storm?
Mhm.
Those kinds of stuff. Second, how can you we are given principles on how to do irrigation system. How can we plan these irrigation system locations? The source of water, how can it feasibly go through the whole plot
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
without compromising the flow? Or
Without
yun nga,
wasting too
from
much
Ken
water,
is
ganun.
the desire to have it. That's first. Second is then applying the principles you know about landscape architecture into agriculture. And then read. That's one of the things we learn. Read about
Knowledge.
how to care for, let's say, a lettuce, how
Mhm.
to care for a tomato.
Parang baby
Kasi
lang.
Yes, kasi 'di
Mm-mm.
ba tayo kunyari, ah, paano nga ba mag-germinate or mag-cutting ng let's say monstera, 'di ba? As landscape architects, we do that. We
Mhm.
research kung hindi natin alam. So
Yeah.
that's another thing.
Same principle lang talaga.
Oo, same principle. And then apply those planning techniques doon sa sa how to design a plot or how to design
Okay.
a farm. Ayun.
Yeah. We have a question from Denise Concepcion. What can you say about the feasibility of aquaponics?
Ah, aquaponics.
Yun.
Yeah, that's very
Aquaponics.
famous ngayon for especially for urban.
Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm-mm. Aquaponics is actually feasible if you know the content of chemicals, organic chemicals,
Yeah.
in order organic chemicals in water. So there it's just like fertilizer. You should have the proper mixture
Mm-hmm.
of organic chemicals into the water. Kasi you don't have the planting medium. You don't have soil in it.
Hmm. Yeah.
So that's one thing you should know about. Other aquaponics kasi they fail because secondly, hindi tama yung let's say computation ng tubo na ginamit. So for the kunyari
For the
lettuce
setup.
you
Yeah.
want to grow it, diba? For the setup. So it takes research, tamang flow ng tubig, how it should be, how to drain the aquaponic water properly, how to change it. So it's feasible. Kasi if we can germinate or if we can propagate cuttings, let's say like monstera as in my perfect
Yeah.
example, we can also
Can-
apply the same principle to mga crops. But more on leafy tayo na mag-aquaponics kasi these are the roots that absorb water more rather than let's say
Mhm.
the root crops.
Yeah, and aquaponics is not just about not just about the plants mismo because since it's a system of fish and vegetables, parang
Yes.
you'll also have to think about the whole computation with what kind of species you're gonna put
Yeah.
in it.
Yes,
Ganun.
yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
tama. So, yan. It,
funny
it,
because
it
my
is
dad,
feasible.
yeah,
Mm-mm.
my dad and my brother are actually into aquaponics and
Oh,
Mm-mm.
parang
nice.
they built like the system in our house,
Yeah.
which for a
Mm-mm.
while parang it was super hard though to get the right balance
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes, yes.
of like the pH of the water all the way to the pumps and even the
Mm-mm.
lights kasi in our house
Mm-hmm.
parang walang pumapasok na sunlight so may mga artificial
Mm-mm.
lights pa
Mm-mm.
ganyan and it was only actually ako na nagkwento it was only sa pandemic na medyo nakuha ng dad ko yung whole system because he had more time to read
Yes,
like what you
yes.
said to research and
Read.
to
Research,
read
yeah.
about it exactly galing.
So, it's feasible kasi, di ba
Mm.
we visited a farm before sa
Mm-hmm.
Iloilo. It was all
Yeah.
aquaponics. It was
Oh
very
wow.
successful.
It's
So,
like
Yeah.
3 greenhouses worth of aquaponics.
galing.
That
Sobra.
was no one's manning it. It's
Yeah.
everything's automated. But
Mm-mm.
yung checking and balancing of the water pH and the
Yeah.
chemicals in it, everything's
Mhm.
just there. It's recorded, and
Yeah.
then you can set it at a certain temperature. Ganyan.
Mm-mm.
Lahat automated. We didn't even see any farmer on site. Eh.
Mm-mm. So,
Wow.
parang they do a small tab. So, if you plant, let's say, ito yung aquaponic system mo, they tab na plant date, harvest date, current pH level, soil level. So, yung mga ganun ba?
Yeah.
So, yun. Feasible. Feasible ang aquaponics. You just have to study it to the detail.
All right.
Oh.
One last question. Last na before we wrap up. How was your transition from corporate LA to rural or countryside, hands-on LA, and shifted to crop planting as well? Interesting. Transition.
Um, to
Change.
start, it would be really hard.
Yes.
kasi sanay ka office work, office setup, laptop, sitting all day. Sa farming, as I agree, it's different. It's way different. You go to the field, you getting your hands dirty. You start soaking them in mud.
Mm-mm.
You trim the crops, ganyan. Tapos you have to plant it, and then when you're planting it, there's not really parang a seat, so you
Mm-mm.
have to squat
Mhm.
down.
Mm-mm.
So your back hurts, your legs hurt, everything hurts basically. It's not like in an office setup where you just sit down like this and then
Oo.
you type,
That
you
hurts
strain your
din, ah.
eyes.
Oo, it hurts din naman.
Oo, pero ibang level of hurt.
Sa eyes naman nag-hurt. Transition-wise, there was a lot of questions. Bakit ko ba ginagawa to? That
Yes.
was the number one question, to the point now you would say, balik na lang tayo sa, corporate. We were at that onset, parang saying, hirap pala, no? Pero
Mm-mm.
once you get the hang of it, the system of it, it's just like, you're just learning how to walk. So,
Mm-mm.
at the start, mahirap siya. Pero now, we're actually very happy with what we're doing.
Yeah.
Oo. Diba?
Oh. And I'm
Uh,
sure when you see your customers happy and like you see
Mhm.
actually even seeing from seed to the plant to harvesting, parang there's a different feeling of accomplishment.
yes,
Siguro.
there
Mm-mm.
is. And yung, kunyari, there are extra crops from, kasi when we
Harvest.
harvest every weekend, there would be extra crops. Kasi mo, kalahin mo to, no? Parang nung last month, ganito lang siya, biglang kinakain
Yeah.
na natin. So, which is which is a nice experience
Mm-mm.
for us as
It's
ano.
fulfilling. That's the
Mm-mm.
word.
Mm.
And we get to spend time with people na they impart also knowledge na kasi the connotation of being a farmer, it's in the Philippines, is there's kind of a stigma, na you should you're you're not well off, you're having a hard time in life. But these people, they're happy with what they're doing, they're providing for their family. So yeah, um mahirap sa una, pero masaya siya sa
Masaya.
Mm.
kinalaunan.
Yes.
Wow. Galing. Did you end up becoming like vegetarian because of it or
No
hindi
naman,
naman?
no, no,
No.
no.
I mean, okay. Farming is not just about planting
Veg.
crops. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Farming is also about, or agri is also about taking care of yung meat mo.
Mm-mm.
So you have the cows, you have the pigs, you have
Even
the
your
True.
chickens.
even
That's
your
true.
coffee, or
And
your dried fish.
yeah.
Yan.
Tsaka, I mean, part of organic farming is also letting your chickens out in the field.
Yeah.
Parang sila yung
Correct.
pinaka pest
Pest
removers.
controller.
Yes.
So they eat yung mga small insects.
Mm-mm.
So just for
Galing.
you, para hindi mag accumulate yung pest natin sa plot. Yeah.
Ecology
It
pala to.
yes, it's
Yeah,
a
lahat.
360
Lahat ng
ecology.
naaral mo sa landscape, it's basically applied
Yeah.
in farming.
Yeah, it is. It is applied. So, to be a landscape architect and then applying those principles, as paulit-ulit na namin
Yeah.
sinasabi, is it is magical.
Mhm.
Magical.
Wow.
Oo. It can be done by us as a community.
Mhm.
We can venture out to that area.
Galing. So yeah, thank you, Ken and Fami, for
Oh, thank you
imparting
as
so
well.
much knowledge. Yeah, no, for no, really for giving a different light to LA. It's
Mhm.
not it's something that not everyone really goes through that path. But thank you also for encouraging a lot of our viewers tonight to get on it. Then if they're passionate about it, if they have at least that inkling of wanting to do agriculture. I mean, you showed na kaya talaga siya.
Mm-mm.
Or
Mhm.
maging kalaban niyo dyan.
Ande, okay lang.
Yeah.
Okay lang.
Kasi we need people. We
Yeah,
need we
tsaka
need
ang
help.
goal talaga is food security. It's a
Mm-mm.
big word, we know,
Exactly.
but to help out in your own way is already big
Mm-mm.
sa industry.
Exactly.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
kaya naman. Mm-mm.
So thank you. Thank you so much. Uh, it's been a great night. You know, it's Monday pa lang pala tonight. Monday pa, we have
Yes.
a whole week ahead. And thank you for filling our
Monday pa lang may
brains with
inspiration na kayo.
exactly, exactly.
Yun.
Lahat na ng kaya kong makuhang seeds, ito try ko na tonight
Why
or
not? Yeah,
tomorrow.
why not?
I'm
Start there,
inspired
start there.
actually. Yeah. So thank you for spending the night with us tonight and inspiring so many landscape architects as well who wanna go through agriculture. So yeah, thank you also to our viewers for
Thank
taking
you,
time to
Ines. Thank you,
listen. Yeah.
everyone, for having us. It was a great session to impart
Mm-mm.
sort of our knowledge, and we hope na a lot of people would also be encouraged to do the same, even in your own small community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, baka you wanna plug for the last time.
Vlog, guys, eat healthy,
Yes.
exercise, sleep, uh,
Exactly.
ano ba ba?
Mm-mm.
8 hours
Because
pa
the
ba?
only because the only way to actually fight the negativity of the world, well, is to give positivity in your life.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, thank you guys so much.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Ines.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So for anyone who wants to learn more about it, you can contact Ken and Fami. So thank you all for taking the time to listen tonight in our episode tonight. Hope you learned a lot from this episode. If you have any thoughts on this, feel free to comment and let us know what you think. Just want to say thank you again to Pala, to Fatima, and to Ken for saying yes to being with us tonight. And have a great week, everyone. Don't forget to, like and follow our social media platform, or pages, and tune in for more episodes of PALAKwento. So, good night, everyone, and have a great week ahead. Thank you.